The dark side. It's the Upstate Pulse on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Brought to you by Borderlands Comics and Games. You're on the air.
Welcome into the Upstate Pulse. My name is Lonzo. It is a beautiful Saturday. Sorry, I'm going to have to do this because someone messed with it. People just don't understand that when you turn the main headphones a certain way. Anyway, it's not you. It's not you. Sorry about that. We're going to have fun today on the Upstate Pulse. Here's what we do here. We do not talk politics. You get plenty of that during the week with our award-winning programming, including Tara in the Morning and Bill Frady and Charlie and everything around and beyond those fine shows. So here we like to have fun on a Saturday night, talking pop culture, talking video games, talking comic books, talking the latest streaming things. We're going to be talking meteors here in a second just because it's a big story. We also got a couple oopses coming up, talking some video games. I already said that once because we're doing it more than once. Nerd Roundtable and so many other things. If you would like to be a part of the show, the text line is 800-905-0989. And we, as always, are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. So, since the text, jump on stream with us and say, hey. Right now, it appears it's just going to be me and Cameron here today, but that's fine. I just want to say how much I appreciate Cameron, and don't know if Matthew will be along here in a moment.
You appreciate me too?
Yeah, probably should turn your mic on. There we go. All right, so
I would ask if you appreciate me too, because I didn't hear my name.
Oh no, I'm not going to say that at all, and I will noob myself here in a little bit. I will. I'm a little discombobulated, but hey, I got it together. I do.
You got this.
I do. Thank you for taking this along with you while you're on your way to wherever you are going, wherever that may be. A lot of people out and about tonight. We had a little fun going and getting some food like we always do before the show and just seeing how many people are out. There's scattered showers here and there, but for the most part, it is sunny as it can be as the sun goes down. I will say that I decided not to wash my car, which was a mistake because we just got some new gravel put down on the driveway. And so my car is very, very dirty. And I see all the rain clouds around. It's like, man, it costs $20 to wash my car. Should I do this? And I decided against it, and not a drop of rain here. So,
well, you never know. I mean, summer, it's always so sporadic. Who knows? It might rain while we're on the show. You might get lucky that way.
All right, let's look at stream. Trey says, hey, Mark says, hey, guys, shout out to Kid Flaccid. I never thought I'd say this, but I hope Cena wins tonight, which is funny because it already happened. So, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later because it was in Riyadh, is in Saudi Arabia. Riyadh. It already happened today, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we're going to break that down. Also, we're going to get in depth about Ironheart and we are going to spoil because it touched on something that we have talked about several months ago about AI. And it's kind of a deep topic. And I want to get into that and the repercussions, not only of the episode period, but the episode kind of on my family, something that I saw. I'm going to talk about that. And our oops it's just kind of messed up. And of course we got AI takeover. First, let's start with the meteor. So apparently the skies were ablaze a couple days ago with meteors coming from everywhere. And some of you may have seen it. If you did, text us.
Daggum great balls of fire.
Yes, 800-905-0989 if you actually saw it. Here's the thing that happened. Supposedly, the meteor broke up in Georgia, and parts of it landed here, including one piece going through someone's house. Now, I had a long discussion on the air.
Will insurance cover meteors?
I don't think it will.
They don't tend to cover anything.
They definitely don't want to cover hurricanes. So I had an in-depth discussion with Rod Brown from the Rod Brown Show
Still don't know how they came up with that.
I don't know either. Yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday, actually, about this thing. And Rob, that's why I was hoping Matthew would be here, because Matthew's a big science guy. He's science first. Not nearly as bad as Rob is. Rob is, Mark on the stream says his daughter saw the meteor. I've seen video, and it was as flaming as it came down, and
Same.
it was probably pretty cool. I've seen meteors before throughout my lifetime.
It's cool unless it hits something.
Well, yeah, there's
hits
that.
something or
There's
someone
that.
or something someone cares about.
And so Rob, he and I do a morning show, sports show on our brother station, 97.
I gotta say, I was some more guy stuff.
97.7.
Brother.
Yeah, well, I can't because I'll start coughing. And
I can do it for you. I can Hoganism.
It's an award-winning program. We do that Monday through Friday, so check it out if you want more of me, and who wouldn't. So we were discussing that, and he's angry science guy. No, you don't understand. And I tried to explain to him something that I don't think everyone. I don't know that I'm alone in this, and I'm curious about the listeners. I know I'm not alone in this room with this, but my imagination is it's vast. I wouldn't say that it is space, but it's at least a universe, a solar system, something. My imagination, when I see something like that, the first thought is, okay, we actually have some sort of iron dome over the United States, and they just haven't told us. My next thought was, it is, we've got satellites in space that took out a rocket. And then my next thought is, yeah, they don't have any rockets that can reach us. And then my next thought is, okay, it was aliens, and a couple shots got through, but we probably took out the aliens. And then my next thought was,
You're welcome, by the way.
yeah, you gotta send appreciation your way.
It happened once, ain't happening again.
All right, so and then my next idea was, okay, maybe we've done plenty of stories here on the Upstate Pulse about these huge asteroids that are just flying by. That's all, just flying by, and it's like within 1,000 miles or 10,000 miles, not even close. And so my next thought is, okay, that is a piece of that is actually coming here, and soon we'll blot out the sun, and we're all going to die. Because here's the thing, the government will cover it up. I've seen 2012. And that is your go-to when it comes to the end of the world. I think that is our most recent picture of the end of all things. And
there hasn't been any more like disaster flicks.
I don't know.
That's like the last one that I can think of.
None
too.
with Woody Harrelson and John Cusack in it. So
all I'm thinking about is Woody Harrelson in the jar of pickles,
and that Russian dude.
Oh yeah,
it's Russian. Yeah, I can't do it. I could, but I'm not going to do it. And so anyway, my thoughts go to all those things. Then we had a discussion about whether it was aliens. And, Rob is looking at me like he usually does. And a lot of people look at me that way. Cameron doesn't look at me that way because he also has an imagination. Yes. And this show is a place where I can expound on this. Our next discussion.
You want to start saying an imagination?
No, our next discussion was the fact that maybe it was a dumb alien. Okay. Sending a warning shot. Sent a warning shot over Georgia, and parts of it broke up and went into South Carolina.
Basically went, hey, boys, watch this.
And then
there could be rednecks in space.
Rob's reply, it's not a direct quote, but it's pretty close to it, is anyway, what I explained to him was Independence Day. Those aliens stole that tech. They didn't create that tech. They were just bigger and stronger. And they stole it from the aliens that created it. So how do we know that there isn't some dumb alien out there in orbit going, I will show them that I'm going to take over? Or my other idea was...
By the way, a point to, supplement what you're saying is we have so many different inventions and stuff that we as the human race have made, but we have a lot of people who operate those and have no idea how they work.
Of course. I may or may not know how to operate this board. So my other thing was, this was a warning shot to a guy in South Carolina who's actually an alien here in disguise, who's supposed to terraform the planet, and he hasn't gotten around to it because, he kind of likes it here in South Carolina. So he's just like, yeah, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to get to it, but he hasn't gotten. Isn't
that a show with Alan Tudyk? Or are they just firing at Alan Tudyk?
I think it's Resident Alien. Yeah. So I haven't watched it before, but it comes on after wrestling, so I've seen plenty of previews. So all those things being said, it was probably just a meteor.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say probably just a meteor. I don't know for sure. And as I had the discussion, the argument, whatever you want to call it, with Mr. Scientist, he couldn't prove it wasn't.
By the way, there's probably plenty of things that are just burning up the atmosphere before it even gets here.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when Skylab was falling, which was like our first big satellite.
Yeah.
And no one knew where it was going to fall. And this was before the
Which
internet.
is always a great.
This is before the internet and everything. So it's basically you hear about it on the radio, you see about it on TV, or you read about it in the newspaper. It could be falling.
It's like it could be falling in the ocean. It could take out Cleveland.
I'm
Who knows?
sure that ham radio people and amateur telescope people saw it falling.
The truckers and amateur astronomers are.
That's usually how that works. Okay, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to break down WWE Night of Champions and also probably get to Ironheart. You. Yeah, I'm specifically talking to you.
Yeah, you guys.
You and the blue Honda with the, the dented door. I had nothing to do with it, but I can see it from here. Talking specifically to you. Stand by. We'll be back in just a moment. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Yeah, so I forgot to turn your mic on.
Yeah, I had to figure out what to do because I was like, that button's not on. Like, I just got to go with it. Either way, it's bad.
It's all right. Next week, we will have a producer, so I won't have to do everything. In theory.
Is the meteor the big knob?
What?
No, I was talking.
Oh, okay. It says Bing.
Bing.
Bing now, yes.
So I say big noob.
Headset? I mean, headphones?
Yeah, Dad, what headphones do we use? Because I have no idea.
It's written on top of the headphones, dude.
Audio Technica.
We're using Audio Technica because here's the thing. They don't really buy headphones for us. So these are like all my headphones. And I will buy some, use them for about 6 months. The ear pads will start going bad because I work 6 days a week. And I will go buy another pair. So I have a file cabinet in the Fortress of Nerditude full of old headphones because I refuse to throw them away.
It's a graveyard of desiccated headphones.
At some point, I'm going to take, when I get to an armful, I'm going to take an armful of headphones and I'm going to go in, I'm going to put them down on Chris's desk and ask him if he can fix them. Just to see the look on his face.
I can imagine the look on his face.
I am told you can do that.
But that requires effort.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. You know what? I'll just buy new ones. I mean, it's not like I'm rolling in dough or anything, but and I could probably like write them off as a work expense, but that sounds like very difficult. So
that sounds like something that
listen, it's the only, once a year I get to go down to Guitar Center and hang out. Since I don't have a band anymore, this is all I can do is go there and talk to the guys about headphones.
Well, I don't know if that example works because you can charge the phone back up.
Obviously, those other headphones are still functioning because Cameron is using them. Consider them hand-me-downs. I mean, there you go. There was a time back in the day, early on in my radio career, when they actually provided headphones. That went by the wayside as that was being cost inefficient, I guess. I think it's more like it was never really said, but it's just like, oh, yeah, you want to work in radio? Buy your own headphones. There were some hosts at the time that were not happy with not being provided headphones. So they would go out and get the cheapest headphones. All right, Russ Castle. They would go out and get the cheapest headphones, those wraparound things, because as a protest, and they would break on them all the time. I'm like, Russ, just go buy some good ones. I'm not. They should provide them. I'm like, okay, dude. And I watch him struggle every day trying to get those wraparound.
Yeah, but he made enough money to like get some
he
decent
did.
ones.
Ain't nothing wrong with being frugal and trying to make a point. I've made those points. And they told us I couldn't eat in the studio, so I stood out in the hallway and ate. And made sure that I crunched really loud as people walk by. I mean, you find your ways. It's America, man. You find your ways to protest. And as with a lot of protests, nothing happens.
Yeah, well, I
And
know.
eventually you go, okay, I'll go back in the studio.
I know the feeling, like dressing.
Get you, Diesel. Quit complaining about ants.
Like dressing to the nines at work, and anyway.
Yeah, that's a totally different thing.
Yeah, it is.
We don't have a dress code here. All right, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. I said all right because I know that I owe you guys a noob, and I'm going to give you one eventually. I'm not doing that thing where I tease that I'm going to give you a noob. I will give you a noob. By the way, if you would like to be a part of the show, text line is 800-905-0989, and we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either 98.9 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. If you are having fun and commenting on my personal page, I can't see it. So move over to one of those other pages so we can see it and so we can talk about it. And
No, you don't feel ignored.
well, yeah. And even then, if we skip you, it's because there's a bunch of things showing up. Including Scott, even guys, the last Fantastic Four trailer dropped this week. Online commentator said it seemed to be trying to address some fan criticism generated in the earlier trailers about the rest of the team taking a back seat to Sue. Feedback is indicating that the fans still are not convinced that this is not going to be the Sue Richards movie. It seems that Superman is increasing its lead in early fan excitement for the summer superhero films. Your thoughts? Okay, first of all, we were going to talk about this later, but we're here, so might as well address it right away. Scott, we already bought our tickets for Superman, and we're pretty excited about it. So
Yes.
We'll be going on Thursday night. We didn't do the Prime member thing and got to get in there on Wednesday. We're not, we just didn't do that. I don't know why we didn't do that, but we didn't do that. We went, so we're going on Thursday night, and we're going to IMAX. And I would tell you, for 5 people, it's $150. Yeah. So, and I had a discussion with my wife. My daughter and I had a discussion with her yesterday when we went out to lunch together and about Fantastic Four, and she doesn't really want to go see Fantastic Four. It just doesn't do it for her. And here's the thing, even though the Fantastic Four movies in the past have been what's considered flops, they weren't that bad. I mean, I've seen worse movies than that. Morbius comes to mind, and some other things, Madam Web, which really wasn't that bad. But it's just Fantastic Four has not been great like some other movies are. And Cameron and I were talking about this when we were out to eat today. Has Fantastic Four ever been a big deal? We'll have to talk.
It's always been touted as like the founding family of Marvel and stuff like that. But just because it's the first thing doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing.
Well, we're gonna have to get Rob Young from Borderlands Comics and Games in South Carolina Comic-Con back on to talk about this, because I am curious about were they peak Fantastic Four? Is it reach the heights of Spider-Man or X-Men or Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman? I mean, did it ever reach those heights? As a kid in the 70s and as a teenager in the 80s, Fantastic Four didn't really do it for me. I mean, I would read their comic books. I never really bought comic books when I was a kid, but I got comic books when I was sick. So I got a lot of comic books because I was sick all the stinking time.
I think the other thing is like, I think it was big in the 60s because of the whole futurism thing.
Well, probably
because of the way that because like the Jetsons, it's kind of got like the same sort of appeal, right?
Here's the thing. It does. I don't want to slam it because I'm so excited for Superman. Superman has always been one of my favorite superheroes and always one. Well, Batman's better. Superman just thinks he's just so much. And people don't really read or watch Superman to find out. If you watch the Justice League cartoons, Superman got his butt whipped every single episode.
A lot, yeah.
And James Gunn has already said that this Superman is not going out and blowing up planets. He's going to get beat a bunch. We've seen that from the trailers. And it's not about it, it's more about what he stands for. He stands for light, whereas Batman, people understand the darkness within. It's always been a problem with me because I believe Superman is a beacon. He is the thing to aspire to be, whereas Batman is the thing you see yourself when it's dark. And I think people feel guilty when they see Superman. I cannot wait for Superman.
I do agree with that.
All right.
The older
Oric
I get,
is singing Somebody Save Me by from Smallville, one of my favorite shows of all time. I have all of them on DVD or Blu-ray because they changed from DVD to Blu-ray, and I'm not going back and getting all the Blu-ray because I don't know if you can stream Smallville anywhere. You probably can, but I'm not sure.
Where would it even be at?
It's one of those that it doesn't seem to show up.
Would it be on Max?
So as far as you would think it would be, but it's not there. At least not that I've seen, because it would be there with all the other DC stuff. As far as Fantastic Four goes, I'm worried.
That's two noobs.
Yeah,
that's two noobs you owe.
It is. Fantastic Four, I'm worried. What about Fantastic Four has you excited?
I'm interested to see how everything's gonna, like, how the cataclysm is gonna happen, because that planet's
all right. Hold that thought for a second.
Oh no, you messed up.
also a noob.
Oh, noob.
Declining noob and
All right, continue.
yeah, I'm curious how everything's gonna shake out, because there seems like there's a decent amount of.
All right, hold that thought for a second.
Well, dang, he done just messed up, boy.
Oh yeah, boy, you done noobed it now.
Oh, you in trouble.
Ooh-wee.
Okay.
By the way, my two favorite noobs, just
yeah, back to back, both on me. I apologize for my negligence and inability to actually run a board, host, and do everything at the same time. Obviously, I don't have that skill level after almost 30 years. I'm trying really hard though. Fantastic Four, you know what? It looks real kiddish. Superman looks rooted in reality, which DC always seems to be. But even with Marvel, Spider-Man's rooted in reality, Daredevil, all that kind of stuff. This is futuristic, which is supposed to be. It's on another Earth. It's not on this Earth. We know all that. I never,
like I was telling you before, I think they are being faithful to the original style of it.
To Scott's point, I never looked at it and thought this was the Sue thing. This ain't about her. It ain't about Fantastic Four. It's about their kid. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
That's why Galactus is there, because of Franklin. And I think it's going to be centered around the kid more than anything. These are established superheroes in a place where they are the only superheroes. And of course they are a big deal, because you would be if you're the only superheroes. They're going to be fighting some monsters, things like that. And this is just to set up other things. And
for Doomsday.
And think of the clash that they're going to have to deal with when they come to this Earth, where they're just another set of superheroes. And it's a totally different setting, all that kind of stuff. That's the movie I want to see.
Yes.
And
this is basically the setup for what we want to see.
Right.
Later.
And it's probably going to,
I don't think it's going to be the worst thing ever.
It's going to be explored in Doomsday more than likely, but
yeah.
And Secret Wars and those type of movies, they're going to be, it's akin to when Captain America woke up, I think, to a degree, because they're going to come here. If you've ever went, like, let's say you lived in a cave and then you went to Tokyo. I mean, just everything, or New York City, but I think Tokyo would be even more technical type.
Yeah,
stuff.
it would be.
It's the same sort of thing. I think they're going to have that
I think
problem.
Tokyo is probably in better condition.
Yeah, well, more than likely. I don't know. I haven't been there before and never will, because that requires flying, and I'm not going to do that. And if I was going to take a boat, it would take a really long time. So I am.
Avast will be taking our voyage to Tokyo.
We are going to see Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
I don't have the same excitement for it that I do for Superman. And it's very rare that we buy tickets a couple weeks ahead of time. But
if we didn't, it would get sold out.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the kind of movie, because James Gunn has said it was shot for IMAX. Those are the movies you want to see, not the ones that they convert over. You want to see the ones that were shot in IMAX. So you're going to get,
that would have the better quality.
I'm going to get dizzy. I'm going to have vertigo watching this movie, but it's okay. I realize that I'm rooted to the seat, which is the same thing when I'm in a car, but at least I'm not moving. So, and as long as I don't stand up and fall down the stairs, I'm probably good.
Here's the thing. All right. Fantastic Four will work if the dynamics work between everybody. That's what it comes down to. If the solidity of the characters are good, then it'll be
fun. Yeah, and it comes down to effects too. I mean, we've seen enough of Ben Grimm, hey, lift the car and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be fine.
How much is Johnny going to quit?
But the main thing we haven't seen that much of is Reed Richards stretching.
Exactly.
And that could be a problem. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk Ironheart and something I wanted to fight with Matthew with, but he's not here, and that's box office numbers. Are they up? Are they down? You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. And we will get to the WWE thing eventually. I mean, to address Scott, so that's the reason why I did. See if I can nuke free the rest of the day. Probably not.
Would you like some proper
I do not need a pep talk.
I can give you a happy pep talk.
No, thank you.
40% survival rate.
What? No.
If you live, you succeed.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose that's true. They film it in IMAX cameras. They're IMAX cameras.
Yeah.
They're called, from what I understand, IMAX cameras.
As opposed to non-IMAX cameras.
You can tell that we've watched a lot of IMAX movies. You can tell the difference between movies that are filmed with IMAX cameras and ones that aren't.
It's like
there's a depth to it. The sound is better. There's just so many.
It's like the difference between things that are made in 4K or upscaled to 4K. Like in video games. And stuff like that. Like
frame rate. What the heck is that?
Are you more wee or woo, Oric?
Excuse me.
I feel like
can I get some?
Are you talking about Pappy's Portable Pop Palace?
I am.
Yes, Pappy's Portable Pop Palace.
I require a pop.
The best portable potables you ever. What I think I said that.
Pop was mentioned in Ironheart, which we're getting ready to talk about.
Pop music.
No,
yeah, I remember.
She said pop machine or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I popped for her saying pop. Why, thank you, Pappy.
You're welcome.
I don't know why I ain't got a Dr. Pepper endorsement yet.
I see it. Hey, Steven.
I have people marvel at how I'm drinking warm Dr. Pepper, and they don't notice that I bring it in a lunchbox,
in a cooler,
in a cooler with a big old ice pack in it. So even after it sits out for an hour, it's still cold. I mean, it's not freezing, but it's cold. I know Cameron's already said it, but hello, Stephen.
I guess you could say hi too.
Well, I thank you for the permission. I really, really, really appreciate it.
You're welcome. The great Poobah Pappy doth deign unto you. I said that right?
By the way, if you guys miss Odie, tell him. He's on 8 to 10 tomorrow night.
Haven't heard this one, man.
We haven't seen hide nor hair of him in a month. He might be bald by now, for all I know.
He is bald.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Funny you mentioned it.
Ride his motorbike too close to fire or something?
I don't know. Maybe he went full biker.
Maybe he did. Although Irish biker and American biker, I think, are like two totally different things. I don't know. You can ask him that tomorrow night on his show. What's the difference between an Irish biker and an American biker? One thing is we don't call them motorbikes, unless we're like, 75 years old.
I feel like that's awfully targeted.
It was absolutely targeted. But listen, it's my friend. Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo and Cameron here on a Saturday night, having fun as we always do. If you would like to be a part of this here program, text line is 800-905-0989. And we are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either 98.9 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. All right, Ironheart debuted this week and dropped 3 episodes. We are going to spoil. Sorry. But it's been out since what? Tuesday? What was it? Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. It's Saturday, so it's been out a little bit. Don't want to get into too much detail, but some. First of all, there are complaints online about Ironheart for the normal things, the political stuff that's in the background and all that kind of stuff. And they tried to be diverse, of course, covering all different things that they can cover on Disney, because it is Disney. But if you look at the story itself, it's a pretty good story. My problem with Riri all along was she seemed to be angry, militant almost to a degree. And in this case, the first episode especially, they pretty much make her greedy, that money is what she needs. And she'll do anything to get money to finish her project. Now, later on, you find out why she wants to finish that project. When you start getting into the deaths of Natalie and her stepdad, and
It gives her some much needed depth.
it does. And it really comes down to, I don't know if you need to do that sort of thing right away so you don't lose an audience that was already barely there anyway and worried about being told that this is okay and this is okay and all this kind of stuff is okay. And they don't really do that to a degree. And like I said, it is in the background. If you want to look and find it, then you can find a reason to not watch it. The story, once you get down to what she's willing to do, she gets kicked out of MIT because she blows stuff up. She shorts out the electricity. We've seen that on the trailer. That's what happens. She gets kicked out. She has to go back home to Chicago. And
it's good to see Dean Pelton moving up in the world. That's a Community reference, by the way.
Okay. But he was also in Iron Man, and he was at MIT, and he was one of the guys that, wanted to everybody else got money and he didn't, if I recall. Remember when Tony Stark was handing out all that money?
I got you.
He was actually there. So she goes back home and she's trying to find a way to get money. And of course, they need the local tech gang needs a tech person
because Eric Andre just sucks.
Yeah, and then he dies later.
Or Rampage.
And they're going to mix magic with science, and magic and science are always hand in hand. And it's very interesting what she's willing to do to get the money to complete her suit. And she has good intentions, because there's always good intentions, and hopefully they stay good intentions about rescue and all the things. If someone had a suit they could do a lot of things that sound really familiar that somebody else said a bunch. Yes. And we got Ultron. Yep. So there are parallels to this. And the AI she was using was from the MIT, which is basically that little paperclip thing.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I love that little bit. And then it kicked her out.
And then it kicked her out when he found out she'd been expelled. And so she wants to, and this is what we're going to get in depth with. She wants to create an AI that can help her out. So she puts an imprint of her brain, basically, and she falls asleep while she's doing it. So, and I've been watching videos that are talking about something that I didn't think about before. It's been mentioned many times that in your dreams, you can see the multiverse. And I mean, it was mentioned in Doctor Strange.
They have explored this.
Yes. So there's a shot that maybe the new AI that she created, which is Natalie, which is exactly, almost completely exactly, her friend who died.
The other thing too with this is like you have the
But-
marriage of magic and science in this.
Yes.
Who's to say it isn't it like a ghost with an AI?
Right. So we don't know what it is. We don't know if she's good or bad. She seems good.
The other thing
Maybe
is she freezes in the same way that like when the guy pulls out a gun and the
Yes.
AI freezes.
which she shouldn't. She shouldn't feel. She shouldn't do all this. But neither should have Ultron. But he did because so much personality was put into it. So I'm curious to see what's going to
The
happen. next.
question is it because of the Riri, because of the imprint from Riri, or is it something else?
All right. So obviously that's she was there when the drive-by happened to and killed her stepdad and her best friend. So it's always going to be in her mind, in her heart, and all that kind of stuff. And that has something to do with how it was made, and there's probably magic involved. I didn't think I would like it like I do. But there's one part that bothers me. And my wife recently lost a family member. And we had talked about this on this show. We got really serious about AI and being able to say goodbye to a family member and how we think it's a way that you can't let go. Well, this is explored in this to a great depth. So everything that we talked about in all different angles. So not only is she having to deal with her best friend, who she can't get rid of now as an AI, and she slowly gives her, starts to get comfortable with her, but the AI tries to escape her home, her laptop, to go and help Riri in the suit. And when she does, she ends up on the projector for her mom. And her mom is more receptive because the first time we meet her mom, they're in there with sage and stuff. So they're already kind of.
She's a very crystals kind of person.
Yes, they're into that. So the mom is not, and the first thing she asks Riri is, "Can you recreate her husband?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And she says no. That's along the lines of what we had talked about before on the show about how AI recreating a dead loved one in AI can be a problem. And it's you cannot let go if they're always there, and they're not really there. It's just an image of who they used to be. And Expedition 33, it's totally what that is.
I had the same thought too.
It's completely what that is. It's a way of dealing with grief and letting go, and how the main character cannot do that. Actually, several main characters cannot do that.
A lot of people can't do that.
Yeah. So the other thing, there's a rumor going around about a character in the show, and I told Cameron the rumor, and I wish I hadn't, because it turns out that it's true.
They just confirmed it in the third episode.
Yeah, it is. Obadiah Stane's son is in this show,
and he's one of the best parts.
Yes, but I'm concerned. I am worried that he may turn, and I hope they don't turn him, because he's such a likable character. And if they turn him and make him the ultimate bad guy and not the hood, then I
don't think he's going to be the bad guy. I think he's.
I mean, it could be there.
I feel like whoever is behind the hood is the main bad guy for this one.
Which is Mephisto.
Yes,
it's going to be finally Mephisto. All those people excited and wanting to see Mephisto. You're finally going to see, and it's already out there that Sacha Baron Cohen is playing a character, and he hasn't showed up yet.
And that people have been saying for years that he's going to be Mephisto.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's 8 episodes, so maybe he showed
Mephisto Watch.
There is an episode that has an M, and it's got red around it, and I think it's like episode 7 or 8. Yeah. So we may finally get to see him.
See, and I feel bad for, like, in this situation, is like one of the most terrifying villains in all of Marvel, and poor Riri is gonna have to go up and deal with that. It's like you got all these other Marvel characters who are like far more experienced in dealing with all that stuff. It just kind of feels a little bit more.
I would say give it a chance. I mean, if you can't get past certain things, you're probably just can't get past it.
Yeah.
But I think story-wise and dealing with the depth of grief and things like that gives this series weight, and how it's going to be resolved. I'm very interested in what they're going to do. And this is also leading into Doom. And I watched a show today speculating that when Tony Stark left his hologram to say goodbye to his daughter, that it wasn't a hologram, that it was actually an AI. And in the comic books, Tony Stark was an AI for Riri. So, and that somehow this will end up being Doom. There's just it's so much fun to speculate on all these things, but this is going to come into play. And they had mentioned how, Wanda created her kids because she had dreamt about kids, and the kids do exist everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many things that can happen with this. And I didn't think I would like it as much as I did, enough to watch all 3 episodes back to back.
Same. It's one of those things of like I didn't know enough about the character and stuff.
I think it's the impression she gave in Black Panther 2, because I didn't think she was very likable in Black Panther 2.
She wasn't.
And because of that, I'm like, okay.
The other thing is Black Panther 2 is so depressing.
It was. It absolutely was.
Just yeah.
And this is a little on the depressing side, but I love that they're exploring the AI thing.
They've got enough humor and they've got a good balance in this show.
They do.
I believe.
And it's all a certain guy who they better not turn into a villain. That's all I'm saying. All right.
So many live, laugh, and love.
Yes. But he's throwing them away and he's cutting the flowers. He's taking a heel turn, man.
His neighbor's flowers, whose dog kept pooping in his yard.
He's taking a heel turn, and I'm going to be upset. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk box office numbers and how the theater may be on its way back. You're listening to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Ulrich, that game is going to haunt us for a while.
Yeah, my daughter, Cameron's sister, is playing through it now. And she was going home to play Act 3 this afternoon. So we're still waiting to see the choice she makes. We're not just waiting for that choice.
Is it a commentary on all?
I don't know that it is. If we all make the same choice, it's my fault. So,
but no. The other thing is like we're all making. You and I made the same choice, but for different reasons.
But again, if we all make the same choice, in the end, it has to do with values that you were taught by me and by your mom. So indirectly, I still don't think it was a bad choice. I understand why it's supposedly the bad choice, but
well, it's just because of how it was purported in the other ending.
With Go Friday now weekdays noon to 3. News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Looking for easy cash? It's simple. How many old comic books do you have stacked up in the corner? How many toys, cards, and video games do you have just collecting dust? We'll turn that dust into dollars. Borderlands is always looking to buy collections. Bring all your old comics and collectibles to 410 South Pleasantburg Drive in Greenville and turn them into cash. Borderlands has been the trusted leader in
ooh.
for over 35 years.
Yes, Ulrich, talking about the final choice.
Borderlands comics and games. Read, build, play.
The duel at the end.
It's like, who do you choose to be?
And we are going to get to WWE Night of Champions. We absolutely are. Just apparently not this hour. So, I mean,
It's a quick hour.
It has been, yes.
Here's owner Dan Hoey. This offer is limited, so call today at 833-RHINO-99 or visit rhinoshieldcarolina.com. Don't paint. Don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Hey, go Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield. Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs.
Sorry, we're being quiet for a moment. It's quiet reflection about AI and Expedition 33.
Mm.
And now you guys got me playing Baldur's Gate 3 again. And just because Starfield kept crashing on me, which we're going to talk about mod order in the next hour also. And I will just take that out there. Just add it in that. Here we go. Here we go. Severe thunderstorm warning.
Oh,
Just
great.
popped in there, so I'm gonna have to watch this
That's fun.
because it's a minute long.
He kind of. What's funny is, I came up with Pappy before I saw Red versus Blue. It just feels like it's a.
So if you're in Chester or Union, it's gonna be storming.
Be careful.
I don't know if I've been to Chester before. Anybody been to Chester before? I know I've been to Union. Been out in the woods in Union, going to Union High School and went the wrong way back during MapQuest. And
I would say that's not a shock at all.
yeah. Well, and it's like, why are we in the middle of the national forest? What is going on? It's got to end eventually, right?
You've been Zorro for a long time, Dad.
No, it was MapQuest. It took me there. I didn't take a wrong turn. It took me through the woods.
Also, Mark, there
Apparently, Union not a good place to be lost either.
No.
From what I understand.
No, it's not.
It was a long time ago. It may have gotten better.
Pappy also has an affinity for shotguns too. So,
Oric, I beat BG3 probably. I beat it on. I've got like 500 hours on computer and a ton on console.
he's played it more than we have.
Yeah, I'm just right now. I'm just modded up and just messing around with mods and stuff. You don't want me playing with you guys because I don't have a headset yet. And also, I played it so many times. I know just about where everything is, and I would just be messing everybody up.
Uh-huh.
Welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. Lonzo Cameron here on a Saturday night, having a blast. I know it's texted today, unless the text line's messed up. Someone text me so I know that it's working. 800-905-0989. The
Next Pappy rocks.
no, don't do that. LexCorp, we'll look up those and go, okay, did you know I have the text line on? It's not how he talks. He's very, very intelligent and intimidating. I just want to point that out.
There's a reason why he's called LexCorp.
We are also live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on X at either 98.9 WRD or the Upstate Pulse. And before we went to break, we were talking to Ironheart, and I want to talk box office numbers in a second. I'm curious, when you watch a show like that, or let's say Guardians of the Galaxy when it came out, and there are characters that you didn't really know, does it make you go buy a comic book? Because if it does, if you're interested, if you watch that, I know a place that you can go to find those comic books. It's called Borderlands Comics and Games, 410 South Pleasantburg Drive, open 7 days a week. So you can go in there and you can, if you can't find an old comic, I mean, because they have an archive of comics, of older comics, so you can go through and just go alphabetically. And if you don't know how to do that, you can find someone who knows how to alphabet, and they will help you find it. And if you can't find a book that you're looking for, they'll order it for you. That's what they do. The fine folks, Borderlands Comics and Games. I say fine folks, they're cool, dude. In a nerdy, geeky kind of way. You go in there. I am, believe it or not, I am backward. I am overly shy. But when I go to Borderlands Comics and Games, I have conversations with people.
You actually talk to people.
Yeah, I do. Well, they talk to me first, but still, I have conversations with people, or we'll be talking about something.
Halo doesn't exist there, and it's weird.
And someone walks in and starts talking about it too, and then you have a conversation, or you're wearing it. Like I walk in wearing a One Piece shirt, and we're talking about. Or one day when I was about to buy, my granddaughter wanted a Pokemon model, and I didn't know if she's old enough. And there's a guy just out of the blue, hey, Do them with my kids all the time. You should do it. That's what Borderlands Comics and Games is. It's just a place to go hang out and find comic books. They also have gaming days where you can go in there and play stuff like Warhammer, like Star Wars, like a bunch of games like that. Magic the Gathering. Speaking of which, they have cards. They have Magic the Gathering. They have Pokemon cards. They have a bunch of stuff like that. They also have vintage video games and toys, and they sell posters. If you see the posters that we have around here, all except one was purchased at Borderlands Comics and Games. And you go in there and you hang out and you buy stuff. Say you heard about it here on the Upstate Pulse. It won't mean anything other than, that's, oh yeah, I've heard of that show. Hopefully those guys are cool and stuff. So anyway, check that out. Matthew and I were having a discussion last week. Matthew is the person who's not here.
You keep mentioning him.
Yeah, I do, because he's not here. And I hate when I do stuff because it's like he knew it was coming. Probably he's like, okay, I'm just not coming then, because he knew that I wanted to. He just had this feeling that I would want to talk about something. So we talked about box office and about whether the box office is coming back. And we have seen ourselves going to several movies, how the parking lot is starting to fill up, how it looks like people are starting to go. I mean, Stitch made a ton of money and it's still making money. It absolutely is. Wow, Goose. All right, Goose.
That's a good point.
Goose on the stream said Matthew quit because of toes. He could have.
Look,
by the way,
that's why you don't talk about feet for a half an hour.
Hey, listen, I'm not wearing shoes right now. Whatever.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
But
Okay. All
I
right.
don't think it's because of our feet. It's because you went uncharacteristic.
All right. The 2025 global box office is experiencing a strong rebound in 2025. The 2025 is experiencing, anyway, it's redundant. With revenues expected to reach $33 billion, an 8% increase from 2024. Domestically, the box office is approaching $4 billion, an 18% increase compared to the same period last year. This resurgence is attributed to the release of high-quality films and increased theater attendance. Global revenue is projected at $33 billion, as I said before. Let's see. High-profile releases, also known as releases, like Superman, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic Park are expected to contribute significantly. 110 movies are scheduled for wide release in over 2,000 theaters, and the industry has experienced a comeback with an increase in quality films and rise in theater attendance. Here's the thing. COVID really messed stuff up. It absolutely did. And because of that, people stopped going to the theater, but now they're slowly going back, and there are writer strikes. There's been a lot of things. Movies are getting better. People are venturing back out, and I cannot wait to go see Superman. All right, in the next hour, we're talking video games, AI takeover, a couple oopses, and so much more. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
I just got a very dastardly idea.
What's up, Chris?
A supremely dastardly idea. What if
No one says dastardly. I've got a dastardly idea.
Well, after you hear what I'm about to say, you might agree.
Well, I go, that's dastardly.
Yes.
With a D, okay? The first letter in that word is a D.
D. Dastardly.
Yes.
Hard D there.
My enunciator ain't working real well today.
I can recalibrate it.
Remember where we live. I don't know if that's worth it.
So now you finally fit in.
Although, I don't remember the last time I talked to a Gregorian.
I was going to make a joke and just say, let's just send Matthew feet pics.
No, let's not do that.
That's not what we're going to do.
No, that's not what we're going to do, because that kind of thing can get you fired. So, some things are okay to think. but not to act upon.
I didn't say I was going to act upon it. I said it was a
Okay, all right.
dastardly
All right,
idea
you got his phone
and
too.
not a dastardly plan. A
This
plan
what
is different
This
from
is what
an
you get
idea.
for not showing up tonight, punk. I'm sure he has a good excuse.
Probably.
And by the way, Matthew is not scheduled to work. He's a guest. So when he comes, he comes.
Yeah.
Next week, we are going to be breaking in another producer. We're going to be switching some producers in and out. And so I can train because LexCorp requires me to. And, no, I like bringing it like when I brought JJ in. I'm going to be bringing in a guy and you're going to go JJ, but it's not JJ. If you know, you know.
Welcome to the training grounds that is the Upstate Pulse. I hope you survive.
Not nearly as brutal as it used to be. It used to be really, really bad. It used to be in tears bad if you messed up.
But all the mean people left.
Well, some of them just changed departments, but yeah.
Now they can be mean about engineering. Which engineering is very rarely,
Engineering is a vital part of radio, and I try to stay on their good side, and I appreciate all the help that engineering gives when things go wrong. And I'm not going to disparage engineering.
Used to be, Chris. Used to be. Used to teach all the gladiators. Half of them lived. They got one good hit on me. There
was a time, Chris, where you didn't come out of this room unscathed, especially if you made a mistake. It's brutal. I've seen some things online, so they got to be true, about how you treat your friends a certain way. If you are cutting on each other and being brutal on occasion and stuff, that just shows you're more friends with them.
It depends.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if not, you're being a bully. And there's a fine line.
Yes.
The thing is, if I don't like you, I just don't talk to you. That's not true. I don't talk to anybody. If I talk to you and we have conversations and I'm not cutting up and stuff, it means I'm not sure. If I meet someone out in public, I'm scared to death. And also very appreciative. It's such a weird mix of emotions. It's like, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for knowing who I am. Please don't want to talk to me for more than a minute or two.
Please don't linger.
Yeah, because my mind will go blank, and it shouldn't. Can't do the wall without consistent people.
Yeah, because then Dad would just end up on the wall the entire time.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
We've had that. It's not fun.
I do miss the wall. I've got the whole arsenal that I look at every day.
I miss shooting Tim.
Well, yeah. No, Tim shot me in the forehead. It still hurts on occasion. Right here. I don't know why.
It was a spiteful Nerf dart.
Yeah, I know there ain't nerves or anything up here, but it sure does feel like it. Even talking about it right now, it feels sore right there.
Is it like a Morgul
He
blade?
may have dented my skull with a Nerf. I don't know.
I sincerely doubt that. That skull was...
It was a good shot. It was like over the mask and under the hair. It was perfect. Hey, I turned it down this time.
Way to go.
Perhaps we shall have a noob-free hour.
Nah.
Oh, look. Gonna be a little bit late getting into the hour.
Thunderstorm warning, huh?
Yeah, there it is.
It's like, hey.
It's all right. It's not after the intro. I would move the spot before it, but it's too late. PTSD nerve. Listen, you cover your vitals and you think,
man.
You cover your vitals, you think you're good. No, if I have PTSD about anything, it is Chris's precise nipple shots.
Just on occasion, he'll just yell, "My nipples!"
Yeah, no, I never say that. And he was standing over there where Cameron is, and it's a side shot. And it was just, he got so good at it. Oh, I hated
That
that.
was evil.
Oh, I had to do. No. I don't want it. Why? I'm not playing back to backs. It's the same spot.
No, that's just
All right, so there are background commands that will cause weather alerts to pop up. I just had one pop up right after another one. So it's not me putting them in there. It's a background command that I can't do anything about. I have a little bit of understanding about how it's done, but not enough to actually change it. And plus, I don't want to mess with it because weather alerts are important. It's not two in a row saying the same thing. Welcome into hour number 2 of the Upstate Pulse. Used to be hour number 3, and then it was the third hour, nerd hour. I write a lot of things. There are a lot of things that I've written that have ended up on the radio. Some of it has been award-winning. My favorite thing that I ever wrote in my entire life was third hour, nerd hour, and then it was taken from me, and we'll never get it back. But still, at least I had it for a couple years, I think. So there was that.
like
And
most good things in life. It stays for a season, then it leaves.
every time it would come around. And now the third hour, nerd hour, just a pride, man. There's just pride in there. By the way, this is the Upstate Pulse, and here's what we do on the Upstate Pulse. We talk about pop culture. We talk about video games. We talk about movies. We talk about streaming. We've talked about all that in the first hour. We're going to continue to do that in this next hour, including a couple of things that we call AI Takeover and Oops and Nerd Roundtable, which actually has a question for the first time in a while. A really good question, something that I saw online whilst doing my research. If you would like to be a part of the show, 800-905-0989 is the text line. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and on X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WORD. So if you want to hit us up there, go ahead. I will point out because I like to do that. We've been around for 11 years. We are over 11 years. We were podcast radio before podcasts took off. We just were that. And we've had fun for a long time. You usually have 4 people in the room. I find 4 people is perfect. More than that is a Christmas special. So, which, believe it or not, it is July next week, and I'm already working on the Christmas special because
it takes a long time to work on the Christmas special.
Also, the fact that people keep leaving. So I don't know. I mean, I
got to find more bodies for the Christmas special.
I am to the point, and I'm going to admit this on the air right now. I'm to the point where I'm scared I may have to cancel it, and I don't want to do that. Because when I think back, Chris and I did the Christmas special on our own. We had some recorded stuff from Pappy Claus, but we did it on our own, and I don't want to do that again. Last year was amazing to a degree. A lot of stuff we were able to do. Every year we come up with new stuff. I got a great idea this year.
Whoever the DJ was, he was turnt.
He was
turnt. He got the place crunk.
I have that's so like early 2000s, I think.
Look, you live so long, all these like words just kind of just fumble into each other.
I have some ideas. I have a big idea in the back pocket just in case. Don't know that in case I need to call in from the bullpen and go, hey, come in and do the whole show with me, please. We'll see about that. I mean,
I like the please.
Yeah, well, there's a please because it's not a let me tell you what you're going to do thing. It's a please.
Come and do the whole show with me, please.
Please, yes. Oh, there might be there's no incentives other than my eternal gratitude, or at least gratitude until I
lose
the rest of my mind and I have no idea what's going on, which might be 3 days from now. Who knows? All right, let's do WWE United Champions. I'm not going to do the tease thing. It already happened. We're going to get through that really quick, take our first break, and come back and hit oops. All right. Let's see. Cody Rhodes defeated Randy Orton for the King of the Ring crown. So now Cody Rhodes will get to face whoever the champion is at SummerSlam, which probably will be the person who it has been, which I'll talk about in a moment. This match was very slow. And on purpose, I believe, because that crowd was huge and they want to give them their money's worth. And it was a good match. And Cody won. I'm not surprised. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez was an excellent match. It was really, really good.
I've seen some of the clips of that.
Yeah, and it was it was no holds barred.
It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. When my wife was looking at me like, "What are you doing?" when Rhea Ripley got tied up in the ropes, and then Raquel Rodriguez, like, "Get a kendo, get a chair, come on!" And she went and got a kendo and a chair. And I'm like, "Ah!" And she's like, "Why do you dislike her?" It's like, I don't dislike her, but I'm not. It's all these people. "Oh, she's so hot." It's like, okay, dude. So what you're saying is you like goth chicks. That's fine. But there's another thing that that Raquel Rodriguez did. She made Rhea Ripley look small. And Rhea Ripley is on a recent podcast. I believe it was Insight, and she has said that she's lost some weight.
Yeah.
And you could really tell going up against Raquel Rodriguez. The thing is, almost every women's wrestler there is like 5'2". So you get a taller person in there, they tower. And Raquel is not, she's big boned and she's not fat. She's big.
She's a stockier woman.
Yeah, she is. So she made Rhea Ripley look smaller, but Rhea Ripley ended up winning, which probably figured that would be what would happen. Sami Zayn beats Killer Cross, Karrion Cross, whatever you want to call him.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah, but it's no surprise there. But Cross got his first match in a couple years, and the fans think it's because of them, and it could be. I don't know. It could be. I've always liked his characters. I think he does a good thing. Solo Sikoa beats Jacob Fatu. I'm wearing the Jacob Fatu shirt today. I believe in the Samoan Werewolf. He'll get it back, or maybe he'll move on to higher heights. I don't know. Solo introduced another person of the Samoan family. I think another cousin. This guy's 7 foot tall. So, I mean,
there's so many Samoans.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's an island, dude. Everyone knows everybody. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like Pickens County. Everyone's related, sometimes twice. I mean, that's just, Uncle Daddy. Let's see. Jade Cargill beats Asuka. Jade Cargill's come a long way. When she came from AEW, she was green. She talked about how she didn't get the kind of training that she needed. She's getting that in WWE. The thing is, Asuka is very good at carrying a match. She didn't have to carry it as much as I thought she would need to. Jade Cargill's been, her theme says the storm is coming. She came out in full white.
Yeah, I saw a picture of that.
It was pretty sweet. Only missing the X. And apparently there was some X-Men theme bars in there, and I missed that in her intro. And I got to go back and listen to it. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, you probably got to get permission for that sort of thing. So she is Queen of the Ring, and she is going to be facing Tiffy time probably. And then finally, John Cena versus CM Punk. Cena, since he come back and started wrestling full time, is back to what he has been, back to where he was to a degree. He looks really good. And yeah, he only has 5 moves, but he's really good at those. And those who say he can't wrestle, he's got 5 moves.
If he ever does a promo and that gets brought up as like 5 moves is all he ever needs.
Yeah, he said that. He has said that. And so he defeats CM Punk. CM Punk goes to shake his hand, and there was interference with whatever the faction is with Seth freaking Rollins. And
the Spray Tan Boys.
Well, maybe. Kevin Owens hates that, by the way. You should watch that.
I did see that, yes.
So Mark says that 7-footer might be Tongaloa. That is what they're calling him. Is that his brother? Is that the Tongaloa that was it? It doesn't matter. He's big, and
he's a large man.
Yeah, he is a very large man. So now Solo Sikoa is now the U.S. champ, which is good. They had to introduce that guy somehow. I thought the PLE was really good. And WWE has been doing really well all the way around lately. I know some people complaining, "Oh, Triple H this, Triple H." It's like, come on. There are people on the internet who are never happy at all.
What?
Yeah, I know. It's like those people who really love politics and they hate this show. It's like those people.
Those people don't
Because
exist.
politics is their religion, it's their sport. And if you're not talking about that, well, then you don't understand that the world is on fire. It's not, though. It's not even. I mean, there are some
It's a little hot
thunderstorms
out
out
there,
there,
but I mean-
it is. All right, we come back. We are doing the double oops. You listen to the Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice. Let's get it. That was a short bed. That's not newable, though. I've declared that is not newable. I don't have time to look at length of bed when I'm reaching over and grabbing something.
I feel like you're having this argument with yourself.
Oh no, you're judging. I can see.
I was
it.
not judging.
Absolutely.
You assume I judge so much.
You no.
I
no.
was staring blankly.
Did you guys not see the? That was not a blank stare. That was
That was
judging.
my
stare.
resting face.
Was it? So your resting face is judging.
Yes.
Okay.
It's either resting judgment face or resting angry face.
Oh yeah.
I've gotten better at smiling over the past couple of years. I feel like.
I do smile a lot on this show. If I laugh out loud, then you know it was really funny.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just
Which is always a goal of mine, by
Yeah.
the way.
it happens other places too. Sometimes just by something that someone puts up on the stream, like in the middle of a segment, and I just
I found that I've kind of become.
I'm one of the happiest people in this building, and no one believes that. It's the truth, though.
Well, I mean,
I'm a big goofball. Everybody else is all serious and all
that is fair.
yeah.
You are Mr. Snoopy Dance.
That is me. I'm not offended by that. I'm
I
just
will-
remembering all the times that
No. It was not a
that
cut.
me, you, and your sister used to do the Snoopy dance. I bet she doesn't remember it.
By the way,
Because every once in a while, we'd just jump up in the living room when
a
it would
nice
come
fun
on.
core memory of mine when I was growing up is just whatever random music you'd have blasting in the middle of the house that would wake me up. And I'd like stumble in and you're just bopping along. And sometimes you'll put up like the big speakers, even if you didn't have band practice.
Gotta test them.
Just because you felt like
Yeah,
it.
gotta test them. Gotta see if they'll still rattle the walls.
Yeah.
You should have seen when I lived in a neighborhood.
Oh
A
god.
neighborhood with a bunch of old people. And I was in my 20s.
Mm. I don't know, Chris. It's a weird phenomenon.
Oh, cool. Shout out to Joanna Grill. I'll do that on the air here in a second. The thing is, one of the reasons why I don't smile that much in places is because I had braces 5 years. My teeth got straight. Then I lost my retainer and they got crooked again. When I was a kid, I was told never to smile. Trust me, they used the impression of my teeth to teach. They probably still do. My
Ugh.
orthodontist took it to places to teach. That's how bad they were.
I hate that you're always like a specimen to be showed off.
It's
Like,
dude. I am so unique.
you're a medical anomaly. How does that feel?
I still live. All right, welcome back into the Upstate Pulse. You've heard the oops intro. That means, believe it or not, we're going to talk about oops. Also, I don't think Big Lou's like me. I just want to say, Big Lou's just like you. No, he's not.
I don't think a lot of people.
No, you should
are.
look up Big Lou. He looks like a gangster. That's all. I'm sorry, not gangsta, but gangster.
There is a difference. there.
Absolutely, you can be a gangster, but Lou is not that.
True. It's like a rectangle and a square.
I don't even get all that, but it could be true. Also,
how many times are we going to throw Goofy down a chasm? That's what I always think of whenever that entrance plays.
all time fallout. Shout out to Toby at the Joanna Grill in Joanna, which makes sense. Listening to the Upstate Pulse, we appreciate that, and hopefully we make your customers hungry. I don't know what, because they're laughing so much, and when you laugh a lot,
Well, to be fair, better than making them thirsty.
when you laugh a lot, you're burning calories, and when you burn calories, then you get hungry. And if you burn those calories and you get hungry, you go to Joanna Grill and get you some food. That's what you do.
That makes sense to me.
All right, so double oops today. The first one is video game related, and a man has gone to the library. And when he went to the library, he checked something out. He checked many somethings out. He checked in a whole lot of many somethings out.
I'm very concerned.
Yeah, and he did not return them. And now he's arrested. A man has been arrested after police say he stole more than $10,000 worth of Nintendo Switch games from multiple public libraries in Northern California. All right, so I've got a Switch Lite, which was a mistake because then my eyes went bad. And so I can't say I need to change my prescription because I'm old. But and then Switch 2 has just come out, so games are in demand. There's nothing in that game library that makes me want to go buy a Switch 2 right now. And that's just me. But we know 2 pallets got stolen out of a truck. That was worth a lot of money. We talked about that a little while ago. And now people going to the library in California and just checking out Nintendo Switch games. And they're not saying what he did with it. The Marin County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook that arrested, 45-year-old Oakland man, Jamal Reed Obafumi, on June 17th, alleging that he was connected to a string of at least 7 different burglaries of Marin County libraries. I'm not laughing. I'm trying not to cough. Police say the man stole around $10,000 worth of Switch video games between April and June 2025. So, okay, that's 3 months, people. I mean, how many? I don't want to try to do Steiner math right now because it's very complicated. But I mean,
we're going to end up at 144%.
Yes. So I mean, it's probably like $60 a pop for a Switch game. $60 a pop. So how many Switch games would you have to steal to get to 10,000? Cameron's using his calculator.
167.
Okay, that's a lot. I don't know how many libraries there are in
how many libraries, like how many Switch games do they have?
Well, that's the other thing. How many do they let them check out at a time? I don't know. I haven't been in the library in forever. I know they still have them here somewhere.
I've never really used the library all that much.
There are people back in my day, back in the 1984, 85, you could go to the library and rent a video cassette of a movie.
By the way,
Friday the 13th or something a little more exotic. Actually, I don't think they had those there. I don't know. I never checked them out, but they you could do that. You could
old man Russell, what are you on about?
You could get videotapes at the library. I did not know that they went up. I wonder what other video games you could.
By the way, just to say this, you had a library. That was the library I checked out. Just to put that out there.
Oh, okay, yeah, my personal.
Because I don't want to sound like I'm some unread rube.
Yeah, I have a lot of fiction books, science fiction, fantasy books. Okay, according to police, he faces 12 felony charges, which include multiple counts of burglary and committing a felony while out on bail. Our libraries are pillars of the community and must be safeguarded for everyone to enjoy. The sheriff department, it's California. So, I mean, I probably could have used a different tone that would have worked.
For everyone to enjoy, man.
Yes, boy, comes to mind. The 7 libraries that had Switch games stolen were not named. So he stole it from 7 different libraries.
Okay.
But the Marin County Free Library lists close to 200 Switch games available to borrow. Well, not anymore. I mean, unless they got them back. Also unknown is whether or not any of the games were
He stole
recovered.
at least 24 games per library.
Has anybody been to a library in the last little bit? All right. I used to go to the public library in downtown Columbus, Ohio to do 25-page term papers in high school and in college prep English, and you can see that it's helped me so much. But we had to have I think 10 sources. So we would have to go there, and that was the best library to do it. And I gotta admit, there's some.
By the way, you are one good use of an English major.
There's some library books I didn't get them back on time very much, but they used to have drop off things. So even if you're late, you just go up and pull that little thing back and put them in there. And that teacher, I can't remember his name, but I do remember that he used to call us worthless bags of parasitic fertilizer. And he would say that all the time. He also would say, if I pulled a gun out of my briefcase and blew away Reitzel here, everyone would do exactly what I tell them to do. And he always chose me. But I was the
Evidently you were the glue of the class.
I was the most fit guy in the room. You can look at me now and go, no, you weren't. But I was like 210 at my max in high school. So, I mean, I was in good shape. And a wrestler, and as Cameron can tell you, when you're a wrestler, you get in good shape.
You do, or you die.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Or you quit.
We also called him one time, and I will never forget. We called him because he always said his dog was smarter than us. We crank called him. Back then, there was no caller ID. So we crank called him and asked to speak to his dog, and he said he's busy writing his thesis. So I would
that's a good retort.
I would
right
like
there.
to thank in part the teacher whose name I can't remember, and if I did remember, I wouldn't say.
I don't want him to follow up
for also helping me, a young lad, to develop a snark. I mean, I get it naturally, but it gets honed.
Well,
Russ Castle helped me hone it to a degree. That teacher helped me hone it, and again, my mom told me many times my smart mouth would never get me anywhere. But
I'd also like to thank you for making me the monster
Yeah.
that I am today.
Multiple awards later. What about that, Mom? If you're watching, so you're wrong. My smart mouth got me somewhere. I ain't making money, but there's that. Goose says, well, there are probably fines on top of cost of games and processing fees. You're right. It probably
Over the course of 3
Yeah.
months, that would make more sense. I'm just thinking like a stack of 24 games in his arms.
Okay, so Mark says, guys, a new member of the bloodline is named Hikaleo, and he is the real life brother of Tamatonga and Tongaloa. See, that's the thing. They made it sound like it was Tongaloa, I think, and it was confusing me. And I'm like, okay, you're messing up, Michael Cole, but he did not. All right, there is another oops that we need to get to.
The second one?
Yes, this has to do with China. A hotel in China sparked controversy for using this animal to wake people up in the morning. So you could pay $450 US dollars to be awakened by a certain animal at the hotel. What animal do you think would awaken you?
A monkey?
No, I don't. Do they have monkeys in China? I don't know. It's a red panda, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So if you paid extra money, a red panda would come and wake you up in the morning. And it's mostly for kids and things like that. Imagine being asleep and not knowing about this. And you wake up and there's a red panda on your leg. What are you doing? I'm kicking it.
Here's the thing. I would have to live with the regret of the fact that I punted a red panda across the room.
I am kicking that red panda.
And feel eternally bad for myself.
Especially, these are little surprises you don't tell your kids. and then, and there's young Cameron asleep. Very hard to wake up, by the way. But if he feels something crawling on his leg, he's probably going to wake up because of the whole snake incident. So he's going to wake up and he's going to punt a red panda. And then we got an incident. Okay. Well, they had to shut it down because apparently red pandas are an endangered species. And so
I was about to say, that sounds about right. It's like probably should not be, profiteering off of them and all that stuff.
All right. Some guests were reportedly bitten by the red pandas, such as a man who was bitten on the lap by one of the critters while playing with it. Okay.
Where at in the lap?
That's the article says bitten on the lap. Okay.
The lap
is
a
it's very, I mean, the lap
very subjective
the
region.
lap doesn't exist unless you're sitting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're laying down, it's not a lap. There's no lap anywhere. It's only when you're sitting. So
the lap forms when you sit.
So here's the thing.
That right angle.
Here's the thing. If it bit him in the leg, they would say it bit him in the leg. This is like
it's that area that you don't quite know how to define.
like when someone gets punched somewhere in football and they say you got hit in the mid region.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. So my dude got bit in the lap.
You hate to see it.
Thus far, China has around 6,000 to 7,000 red pandas, which are a class 2 protected animal in the country. The IUCN estimates that there are less than 10,000 left in the wild in total. China's wildlife protection law specifically prohibits the sale, purchase, and use of protected species. Okay, use. What does I mean? You can't. I mean,
How does one use a red?
You can't
panda?
sell them, you can't buy them, and you can't use them.
I think in this case, using them for
profit, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, I gotta say, if I'm asleep and a red panda's, I'm punting the red panda. I know it's mean. You know what? I'm punting a koala.
If it's something that with weight and fur, it's probably going to get kicked. That's also why I close the door to my bedroom and I don't let my cat.
Yeah, I mean, when you're asleep, you don't know. You don't know
exactly.
And yeah, I'm not.
It could be some large furry creature coming after you. Could be Sasquatch. Could be a guy who's really hairy.
Well, if it was Sasquatch, I think speaking of weight, you would definitely go, "Oh, I'm dead." Anyway,
well, I'm punching a few times before I go. I'm gonna make him remember me. I'm just like Cameron's dead, but there's a whole bunch of Sasquatch jerky everywhere.
Commercials and just smiling. Yeah, no, thank you. All right, when we come back, we are going to hit the Nerd Roundtable. Listen to Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
That's when you pull out your bed rest baton. Your bed rest baton. When something's assaulting you in your bed, you don't have access to anything else. Bed rest baton. Pull that sucker out.
Treat that panda. Yes. Exactly. Very good. Well done.
By the way, I'd love for like some sort of automated thing where you just go, oh, and the music starts.
Not everyone gets your reference, Cameron.
Yeah, but everybody was kung fu fighting.
Ah. Why?
You have your Dr. Pepper from Pappy's Portable Pot Palace. Drink it. I couldn't think of a P word for drinking.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that. Woo!
This is such a fever dream of a show.
What?
I'm just saying.
Why? You got a fever?
The only prescription is more cowbell. At least says the Bruce Dickinson.
I remember.
Or kicking pandas.
Hey, Heidi, behaving? I don't.
We don't do that.
I had a mean thing to say, but I'm not going to say it. No. I was just going to, and has to do with shrimp. Anyway, she gets it. Anyway.
I was about to say, that was lost on me.
You know what? Also, those pandas are akin to, guess what? They're not really pandas. They're raccoons, right. So it's just a Chinese raccoon crawling up your leg. Which, where we live, a raccoon crawling up my leg is like, oh no.
That's a hard no.
There's another daggum hole in the floor.
It's like an
time
episode
to play whack-a-mole.
Let me get my mallet. I was stuck in the Johto area, and those no trios.
What? Johto. No, we can't talk about feet. Remember, that's why Matthew's not here.
No, what?
You said Johto.
Yeah, the Johto region.
What's wrong with Johtos? Good night, everybody.
I'm about to grab that hammer across.
Do not come at me with Thor's hammer. Actually, it's not Thor's hammer.
It's the Doom Hammer.
No, it's It's from Warcraft. Yeah, so it's the one orc's name that was raised by humans. Was he part human? Why do I forget his name? Thrall. By the way, you can play all the Warcraft games on Xbox Game Pass Ultra right now.
Most people can.
If you can get into, yeah. Well, does it go through Battle Pass or does it go through?
Well, my thing's very specific. So
Okay, all right.
Trying to remember who the first orc was that had it.
No, there was Grom Hellscream, but he was like he drank the red stuff, didn't he? Wasn't the guy who drank the red stuff?
Oh, he drank Manoros blood to get fell magic back.
I mean, that game was out when? And like
2003.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Wow. That's like 22 years ago.
Orgrim Doomhammer. That's who it was. I used to be so up on the Warcraft lore. Warcraft was like one of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, well, you move on. That's what you do.
Well,
but now you can go back because you can play it on Game Pass.
True, and I also heard that the War Within is actually really good too.
All right, it's time for the Nerd Roundtable because we weren't nerdy enough, so now we're going to get even more nerdy. I don't think it's possible, but we're going to try.
We're going to do it exponentially.
Yes. You want to be a part of the show or the roundtable? Text line 800-905-0989. We are also live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X at either the Upstate Pulse or 98.9 WRD. Shout out to Heidi Harris, watching us from Vegas. Love Heidi. She is awesome. Whenever she fills in, she does a great, great job. All right. First thing in the roundtable, was the destruction of the Death Star a light side move?
That is that was a hard cutoff on the music there.
Listen.
No.
Would you like to go in and fade the music?
No. It wasn't. It gave the.
It's not noobable.
It's not. I was actually applauding the use of that because it gave it the gravity it deserves.
I have the skill level to do too much.
I would say that because it happened because of the Force.
All right, so
it was one of those things of like, because like the difference between the light side and the dark side is forcing the Force to do something.
Have you ever thought about how many people died on the Death Star?
Oh, millions. Easily.
It's not millions, but according to a book that was out, Luke was asked about it and if he knew how many people died, and Luke could still recite them. 25,800 stormtroopers died, 27,048 officers died, 576 crew died, 378,685 support staff died, 1,205,109, not counting the droids. That's what Luke says. So that shot into that shaft killed that many people.
Yep.
Now, is it a light side move? Now, if you think about what the Death Star did, how many people were on the planet it blew up?
Way more than that.
Exactly. So
it's a balancing act, because if you go by how the Force works half the time, and
Mark on the stream says light side, dark side, it's what's necessary. That's my Mandalorian answer.
That's a good point.
Just whoever wins. Exactly.
Well, the other thing is, if we go by KOTOR rules, Luke didn't immediately get Sith eyes.
All right. Oryx says, just how freaking big was the Death Star? And here's the thing. That's no moon.
Exactly. It got confused with the moon.
That's I'm quoting Obi-Wan there. That's no moon. So I think it was Obi-Wan that said it, or was it Han? I think it was Obi-Wan.
One of them did.
Anyway.
That's no moon.
Yeah.
It's a space station.
Yeah. It's
I think it was
it's big enough that, and think about it. So you had that choice to make, and you don't get the gravity of the situation in the movie. I think they were able to explore the depth of some of the things in the prequels and things like that. But in the original Star Wars, you just don't get
Everyone's
fact,
getting medals. Things are happy.
Yeah, you don't get the fact that Luke just destroyed 1 million people. But it had to be done.
He had to catch up with his dad's kill count.
Well,
somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. It had to be done because they would have blew up more planets.
Yes.
And which are millions of people on those planets. And if you look at
millions,
you just think if they blew up Coruscant.
Yes.
And how many people were on Coruscant. So
although I'm thinking of Palpatine's just like, wait, what do you mean Coruscant? I live here.
Yes. Yeah, don't blow that up.
Talking?
Yes. But I had never thought about that before. It's just, great shot, kid. That's 1 in a million. I mean, you just think about the shot and how it went in, how he turned the computer off. By the way, I still don't understand this. And maybe if I looked into it a little bit more, what the heck was Darth Vader doing when he looks like he's got his pool stick and he's putting some chalk on it? What is he doing?
That's a good. I haven't watched that scene in a while.
Yeah, I don't. What the heck is he doing? I mean, he's
Vader. Why do you have that weird mouse in the TIE
no?
fighter?
It's just to me,
the one with the rolly ball.
If anyone's ever played pool and you got to put a little chalk on the end of your stick, that's what it looked like he's doing after each shot. I mean, does he have to prime up the thing, or is he putting gunpowder in there? What is he doing? Later on they don't do that, but in that first one, he's doing, as someone said, did Lucas go? You know what you need to do?
It was like
act like you're putting chalk on your cue.
He was calibrating. The target.
Was he okay, Garrus? I don't think so, and I don't know what he was doing, but it was
the
go back and watch. What the heck was he doing?
That's a good question because I remember it. I know what you're talking about. Again, it's one of those things of like the way that the light side works is more working with the Force as opposed to making the Force your own weapon.
Okay,
so
we moved on from that. What was Darth Vader doing in the TIE fighter? That's what I want to know. What the heck was he doing?
Was he all right? The other question is like, was he messing with his own suit or was he?
No, he was. There was something in front of him.
Maybe something popped loose.
You and I both have played the VR version of it.
True.
And I've been in a TIE fighter. I couldn't see over the dashboard, so
you were playing as an Ugnaught.
Yeah, so I couldn't get my camera right, even though I'm over 6 foot
tall. I had a much better experience.
Yeah, so I got tore up.
Including one of my favorite moments in gaming where I'm playing with a buddy of mine and he's yelling, "It's on my bleep! It's on my bleep!" And we're playing as the Empire, as he has a Corellian frigate just behind him, chasing him through a mine shaft in an asteroid.
By the way, I just want to say, and I know it's very juvenile, but it's the show. Frigate is such a good word. All right. Do you collect things like, I know I've been collecting popcorn buckets, but some of them are pretty sweet. They are. I can't wait to see what they do for Superman. What if
it just should just be Guy Gardner's head?
No, it should be. Well, that would be cool. Like the bowl cut would just have a hole in it and you put popcorn. I was thinking it have something to do with crypto. Star Wars and Coca-Cola have united for an intergalactic refresher galaxy celebration. So it's a bunch of cans with a bunch of Star Wars people in it. Do you collect cans like that? Do you go, oh, like Coke has, I'm looking for my name. Excuse me, I'll be here for a while. I can't find Lonzo anywhere. Excuse me, Mr. Clerk, why does the Coke can not have Lonzo on it?
Now my question is, do we go to Mexico or Italy?
Yeah, that's a good question. So why do that now? There's no Star Wars movies coming out anytime soon.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird.
Is there any series coming? I guess keeping it out there so that,
well, I mean,
because someone might forget the Star Wars exists.
The Darth Maul Shadow Lord is coming out eventually. Also, Andor's been in a lot of popularity lately.
Yeah, but that's over. Thank goodness. All right, James Bond has its new director, and it's Denis Villeneuve, who is directing the Dune movies. So he is directing the new James Bond movie, but he's not going to be able to do it until he finishes Dune 3, which I think they're filming now. I don't know.
I can say I'm definitely excited for the next.
His favorite James Bond, Daniel Craig. So he's probably going to go about that. But now they have the director that can start looking for the next Bond. Here's the thing: they want someone under 30, and per Variety, so it's got to be true. Jacob Elordi, 28, is one of the candidates possibly. Harris Dickinson, 29, is
Any relationship with the Bruce Dickinson?
maybe Cowbell is awesome, and a name you probably heard of before, Tom Holland. Tom Holland as Bond, James Bond.
I don't know if that works.
License to Kill. I don't know either. I don't. When I saw that,
I've seen him. All right, so
nah, this can't be real. But apparently, it's real. Tom Holland is on the short list.
Only other movie
to be James Bond.
The only other movie I've seen him in was
Uncharted. You saw him in Uncharted.
I have seen him in Uncharted.
Yeah, it was good in Uncharted.
But the other thing is like there's a certain.
He also dances in some movie when he's a little kid.
What I'm trying to say is he's mostly upbeat because that's kind of the way he is in general. But being suave and sophisticated and stuff, I don't know if he could do that.
See, I've had this discussion with a couple people,
believable.
and they're like, "Oh," I was like, "Listen, they've got to have a young guy because you want someone that you can get like 4 or 5 films out of, or at least 3." So, I mean, it makes sense that they would go with someone under 30. And let's face it, Tom Holland, even though he's under 30, looks like he's in his 20s at least. And sometimes, if you want to believe it, he just graduated high school, depending on the role, and he's still able to play that. So I don't know about him being James Bond. Everybody wanted Henry Cavill to be James Bond. All right, not everybody. And some people wanted Idris Elba. Either way, I'm good with that. But I knew they were both too old. If you're starting the franchise over, you got to start with a younger guy.
But it takes a certain kind of like suaveness to it.
It's acting, dude. He might be able to
True.
be suave.
The question is, can he be cold?
I'm not saying he's getting a role, but we'll find out. All right. Time to take a final break. When we get back, we're going to hit the lightning round. We squeeze in as many things as we possibly can in the last couple of minutes of the show. Listen to Upstate Pulse right here on News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of Carolinas. I mean, it is one of those things where you see it and you're like, nah, this is one of those rumor things. There's no way. By the way, I think he's a capable enough actor to do it.
Here's the thing: if he does get cast,
I mean, I might have went with Eggsy, but I don't know how old.
well, the other thing
Taron
is
Egerton, I think is his
he's
name.
already been in a spy movie
So
with Kingsman.
you find a way to tie it in. You're right. That just kind of takes him out of getting a chance to do it.
Yeah, because he's already done it. Like there's a bit of cross pollination there. And then Elton John makes an appearance. Friend Elton John.
Elton John kicked butt in that movie.
Yes, he did. He tore up those robot
That was
dogs.
him. He did his own stunts. It was obvious.
How much damage could you do if this was an actual?
I would tell you, Chris hit me in the head with that once.
No, this like if you hit it, somebody with enough force with this.
By the way, it hurt. I was not happy. He hit me too hard. He knew he hit me too hard. And I was like,
his intrusive thoughts won, and he regretted it.
which happens with him sometimes. Sometimes he just does things and then, it's like, oh, oops. And how tall is Tom Holland? I mean, I don't think he's very tall. I'm gonna go 5'8" or something like that.
5'8" isn't short though.
It's average, I know. But if you go with a 5'8" Tom Holland, then finding someone to look menacing as a villain is not so hard. You just get someone who's over 6 foot tall.
He is 5'7".
That was close.
The other thing too is it's like height dynamics is always an interesting thing too.
Yeah, because you've got Sylvester Stallone who's short. You got
Like
Tom Cruise who's short.
You can be intimidating and shorter. Or who says you even need to be intimidating?
Name me a short, intimidating guy.
Well, it used to be Joe Pesci. Well,
All right,
at least
depending
this is
on,
what
depending on the
saying-
role, you're
no,
right.
I'm thinking.
How tall do you think Joe Pesci is?
I'm thinking of
No. How tall do you think Joe Pesci is?
like 5'4".
I think he's. I don't know.
No, I'm thinking of the Family Guy joke where Peter just picks up Joe Pesci. He's like, "We used to think he was a tough guy in the '90s." He's 5'4". Also, in real life, I know of a shorter man who I would never dare to take on in any sort of physical struggle. Because I know that would be a problem for me. One of the few men who I dare not cross.
Jim Bob Jr.'s used trailer and hot tub accessory emporium. Double wides? We got 'em. Triple wides? We got 'em. And for you hipsters, we got the original tiny houses. We call them single wides. Come on in and buy one of our spacious homes and we'll throw in absolutely free your very own genuine flaming t-shirt cannon. Nothing brightens up your shindig or hootenanny like a t-shirt gun that's straight fire. So come on down to Billy Joe Jim Bob Jr.'s used trailers and hot tub accessory emporium today.
All children who are accompanied by an adult will receive a free pair of opera glasses and a snow cone.
Lightning can only strike twice so many times.
All right, W has spoken. That means it's time to hit the lightning round, squeeze in as many things as we possibly can. We didn't get to AI Takeover, but I will tell you what was in it. YouTube has taken further action against fake movie trailer channels after a deadline investigation. So, you know, those fake movie trailers that show up and you're like, oh, that's real. That looks so cool. And you find out it's not real. And turns out that apparently some of the companies are not suing them for doing it because they've been able to get money from the fact that like millions of people have watched those fake trailers. And they refuse to comment on that. I don't know why. So, yeah. So I'm glad they're cracking down on those. For entertainment value, they're usually pretty cool. But at the same time, if you don't look at it close enough, you may think, oh, that's going to be cool. I can't wait to see. I can't believe that guy's in that movie. I can't believe Tom Holland's going to be 007. I just saw a trailer. It looks really good.
And Henry Cavill's the bad guy?
Well, that's not far-fetched. Cyberpunk 2077 had us all excited about their next update 2.3. And they have said in an official statement, turns out we're going to need more time with this one. That's their official statement.
Hey,
so what they're saying
let
is
them cook.
they want it to be good, better than what it. It always bothers me. Why announce that you're going to do this? No one was looking for this, so it's not like you're anticipating.
Well, the other thing is like they thought they were going to get it out at some point.
Just out of the blue, you go, you know what we're doing, and people are like, no, we didn't know you were doing that, and then you can't do it. So just don't say anything until it's ready.
In this case, it's fine because the game has been out for forever. And it's built up enough goodwill back again.
Don't say anything until it's ready. That's all I'm saying. We talked about last week the rumor that Meta was partnering with Xbox. It's not a rumor anymore. It's true. And you can get the Meta headset, and it comes with a controller and an Xbox controller. It's black with the green for the Xbox.
Really?
And it also comes with obviously the Meta controller. You can get that and you can play games on Steam with it. And eventually probably games on Xbox. We'll see. I'm going to wait and see what they do with that. If I finally get a Fallout 4 game in VR that I can play, which I think it might actually be out.
Yeah, it's been out.
Yeah, but you can't play it on PSVR, which is what I have. But the Meta thing looks pretty cool. I'm tempted, but there's no game out there that I think it's worth it for just yet. New Jurassic Park movie comes out this week. Are you interested at all?
No.
I hate that I'm not. You know, I used to be
same.
a big Jurassic fan, but
The second Jurassic World movie just kind of killed it for me because it just was so dumb.
By the way, I thought Chris Pratt was good in them, and I
I'm
thought
not saying he wasn't. He was a good part of the movie. It's
I
just
thought Ron Howard's daughter, whose first name for some reason I just suddenly forgot,
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Bryce Dallas Howard, yes, who's hilarious, by the way. If you watch any interviews with her, she just giggles, and it makes me happy. Yeah, I thought those were fine, but they're gone, replaced by Black Widow. So Scarlett Johansson's in it,
And not quite Blade.
and the guy who would like to be Blade, who said, "Hey, talk to Marvel. I still want to be Blade."
We'd like him to be Blade.
Well, apparently they can't figure out how to make that movie.
He was Cottonmouth.
He was good at that too.
Yes.
All right, the new Friday the 13th film has been announced, but it's not really a film. It's just a short film, and some people are upset about it, but I don't care. There's a new series coming out called Camp Crystal Lake, which explores his mom, Miss Voorhees, before she does all this. I don't get it. Why. By the way, Matt Reeves has finally turned in the script for Batman 2.
Thank God.
Yes.
It's taking forever with that.
Well,
No, James Gunn was actually kind of
Yes.
cracking on him for that a little bit.
yeah. Let's see. Gunn said people should get off Matt's lap because it's like let the guy write the screenplay in the amount of time he needs to write it. That's just the way it is. He doesn't owe you something because you like this movie. I mean, you like his movie because of Matt. So let Matt do things the way he does. I'm irritated by people. I mean, it's just that thing people don't need to be entitled about. It's going to come out when he feels it's good enough with the screenplay, and Matt's not going to give me the screenplay until he feels good about the screenplay. Apparently, he feels good about the screenplay because he gave him the screenplay.
That's good. You should take enough time to get a product or something to a good
Robert
point.
Pattinson is now 67 years old. Can't wait to see how he plays like a 28-year-old Batman.
I'm vengeance.
I am vengeance. I am.
Alfred,
the
where's my walker?
All right, Top Gun 3 is happening. And
Really?
apparently Maverick's going through some stuff. Maybe he'll die, like in Mission Impossible.
Yes, because he totally did there.
When he absolutely died, he just got brought back to life. Remember?
Yes.
Oh, he died. And the pals and stuff. They're making a Lego X-Files. Why? I
don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
Get me out of it.
Yeah. Why?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
I don't want it.
Thanks for everybody for being on the show today. Shout out to everyone on stream and everyone. I would say everyone who texted in, but no one texted in. I don't know what your problem is. Also, you feel something crawling up your leg. It's not a red panda. It's a raccoon. That's not Rocket, and you need to be careful because
I'd actually be more concerned if it was Rocket.
it could have rabies.
He might just shoot you.
All right, we finally got a texter. Stop. Top Gun 2 was No, Top Gun 2 was Star Wars. That's all it was.
It was.
It was, but that's okay. Star Wars was good. So it's not. I mean, the way they did the jet thing. And he does his own stunts. I don't know if you knew that. All right,
And we got the first Bob.
we will be back next week. Maybe. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks, Chris.
It would have been great though if other people were here. I'm only lamenting because I miss hanging with my friends. I love hanging with my son. Not everyone gets to do that, and he is.
It is a privilege to be in the same room with me.
It is. All right. On that note, say goodbye, Cameron.
Goodbye.
I'll say goodbye, and yeah, whatever.
You're welcome,
Yeah,
Internet.
whatever.